Only on CBS This Morning, we have new details about the mysterious death of a Border Patrol agent in Texas. President Trump promised back in November to bring the killers of Agent Rogelio Martinez to justice. He used the death to renew calls for a wall on the Mexico border. But the FBI now believes that Martinez's death was indeed an accident. David Begnaud traveled to southern Texas to uncover what federal investigators believe actually happened to him. David, good morning.
Gayle, good morning. This all happened near the town of Van Horn. That is about 100 miles east of the city of El Paso, about 30 miles from the U.S.-Mexico border. Now, the FBI poured its resources into this investigation. They did more than 650 interviews and 26 searches. And while the president and other politicians used the death to make a political point, we have learned the FBI believes what happened was an accident and not a crime. That is the culvert where Agent Rogelio Martinez was found dying in November. It's located along a quiet stretch of Interstate 10 near the U.S.-Mexico border. The area looks like it's in the middle of nowhere. Martinez was responding to a tripped sensor along a known drug smuggling route. He radioed for backup. A law enforcement source tells CBS News Martinez then parked on the eastbound side of Interstate 10. He turned off his headlights and kept his emergency lights off so potential smugglers wouldn't see him coming. It was a moonless night. There are no street lights out here, so really the only light that you have would be a flashlight or the headlights of a passing vehicle. According to our source, Agent Martinez, who was not using night vision equipment, ran across the eastbound lanes of I-10, through the grass divider, and then across the westbound lanes, and ran right off the edge of a culvert that had no guardrail or barrier to stop him. I'm 6'1", so if I go to walk in one of the culverts, put my hand here, the estimation is it's about a 9 or a 10-foot drop if the agent were to fall off of it. According to our source, Agent Stephen Garland, who arrived right after Martinez, may have made the same mistake, running across the interstate and right off that edge. The FBI suspects Garland fell off at a different point because his blood was found about 22 feet from Agent Martinez's body. A Border Patrol dispatcher was able to make contact with Agent Garland after his fall. Despite his injuries, Garland was able to get back to his vehicle and turn on his emergency lights. At that time, Garland told a dispatcher something to the effect of, "We ran into a culvert," or "I ran into a culvert," or "I think I ran into a culvert." Now, the dispatcher wrote in his log, "thinks they ran into a culvert." The FBI found no other footprints at the scene, no defensive wounds on either man, or any DNA belonging to anyone other than the two agents. Are you open to the possibility that maybe this was an accident?
No.
Doesn't make sense to you?
No.
It's been 3 months since Agent Martinez died, and his fiancée, Angie Ochoa, is not convinced by the FBI's theory. She says Martinez's injuries were too severe to have been caused by a fall. She's also suspicious because toxicology tests found a pain medication, butalbital, in his system.
Somebody convinced him to take that medication, I think. To make it seem like it was an accident.
You're not suggesting he was drugged?
At this point, I think it was probably given to him intentionally.
Even in a normal dose, sometimes there can be some impairment of ability to function, but very little impairment.
We asked forensic pathologist Dr. Michael Bodden to look at Martinez's autopsy report, which states that he died of blunt force injuries to the head, but classifies the manner of death as undetermined.
This is all very typical for a fall and not for a fight.
CBS News has learned Agent Garland suffered multiple broken vertebrae and had a brain bleed. The FBI believes he has amnesia and had nothing to do with Agent Martinez's death. They found no evidence of animosity or a conflict between him and Agent Martinez. Despite the FBI's findings, union officials at the National Border Patrol Council have called it a heinous attack, and they refuse to back down from that.
This group of drug smugglers attacked him and ambushed him. It looks like he was literally beaten to death.
So no smugglers were ever found. We asked the White House for comment on this story, and they told us no. We called union officials 40 times. We left 15 voicemails. We sent 10 emails and 5 text messages. They finally got back to us and told us that the people who were authorized to talk would not be available.
What a mystery, the whole thing. So what does the local sheriff's office think happened?
Well, the sheriff told me, look, we got the call as an accident. He said, David, that's why we responded with our medical bags, because if we'd have thought it was an attack, we would have responded with assault rifles.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Glad we followed up on that story.
You got to feel for family members who are still very skeptical.
Absolutely.
But David, while you're here, it's always good to have you at the table. Congratulations, by the way, is in order. Being awarded the prestigious George Polk Journalism Award for public service. Recognizes, of course, all of your work in Puerto Rico, where I think at one point, weren't they calling you the patron saint of Puerto Rico?
2 months covering the
yeah.
devastation there.
We did more than 40 days, and I have to tell you, there were 35 people who were with me who made it possible to do that reporting. This is a team effort. It's not a me award. I will lead the gratitude train in saying thank you. We are very grateful.
Well, you exposed a lot of what was really going on, so thank you.
We're grateful to you, David.
Thank
Great
you.
work.
Congrats.
Thank you.